guys, welcome to another Touch of Film. This is a Criterion update, just a small stack of some awesome Criterions. Starting off with Kagemusha, a great movie by Criterion Kurosawa, probably one of my favourites of his work. This is quite easy to find, so there's a UK edition of it as well, released by Studio Canal. It's actually produced by Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas, who wanted to produce a film to get released in the US of Kurosawa's, because at a time when it was near the end of his career, they just wanted to energise his career a little bit and produce more movies. It's the story of a emperor who is not really an emperor, more like a warlord. He's a very great warlord. He's achieved so much. He's very successful, and he has a Kagemusha, which is sort of like a body double, a shadow warrior, who would take over if he dies, or as just to bring out in case someone tries to kill him. And as that occurs, the warlord is killed. The warlord is played by Kagemusha Nikadai, he's a long-time collaborator with Akira Kurosawa. He's played in Yojimbo, High and Low, and his most well-known role was in The Human Condition. But yeah, this is a fantastic movie. One of the few movies in colour of Kurosawa's, but fantastic use of colour. One of the first scenes you see is this soldier going down a sort of like a fortress, and he goes down these stairs, and each time, every level he goes to, you see soldiers that they're different part of the infantry, and they're wearing different colour uniforms. It's just great use of colour and movement in that scene. Great little fact about this film: the main role was going to go to Shintaro Katsu, who played in the Zatoichi series. He was going to play the main role, but after falling out with Kurosawa, because apparently he wanted to film a documentary whilst filming the movie, he fell out with Kurosawa, and this role went to Nakadai, who gave a fantastic performance. I don't know if Katsu would have been as good, really. While he is quite a character in his movies, I do think Nakadai stole the role. This is the Criterion edition. Like always, comes with a great chunky book with some artwork, and the artwork is all done by Kurosawa. It's fantastic, because he used to storyboard his movies beforehand as paintings. They just look fantastic. Yeah, really great edition. If you have got a Region 3 Blu-ray player, I can't recommend this edition enough. It is fantastic. It's perfect, and it's such a great movie. If you're new to Kurosawa movies and you find black and white movies a bit overwhelming, I highly recommend this. But if you're not, I mean, he's produced some masterpieces. Seven Samurais, one of my two favourite movies of all time, so I really recommend that. Next up is another Kurosawa movie. It is Throne of Blood. It's a retelling of Macbeth. Fantastically done. Actually, Kurosawa's done a few. He does Shakespeare really well. He done King Lear with Ran. This is just fantastic. Chiro Mifune plays the role similar to Macbeth, as well as Isuzu Yamada, who plays the sort of ruthless wife, who is also like the Lady Macbeth, sort of egging him on to do the crimes. If you don't know the story of Macbeth, Chiro Mifune's character runs into three witches. Well, in this one, it's one witch who tells him that he's going to be king. So it sort of like plants a seed in his head that he will be king one day, and from there he thinks about how am I going to get there faster. So it's a tale of blood and just ambition, fantastically told by Kurosawa here, and it's one of the best tellings of Macbeth I've ever seen. There was one last year with Fassbender that was gorgeous done movie. I think Roman Polanski's also done a version which I saw in school, which was absolutely fantastic as well. This again comes with the one disc and some really nice artwork here. Mifune is just fantastic. He's one of the greatest Japanese or even Asian actors of his time, and yeah, he's absolutely brilliant in this. Next up, now this concludes my whole collection of all of Kurosawa's Criterions. I've shown them all whilst I've had my channel, and it is Hidden Fortress, the film that inspired Star Wars. There are elements of Star Wars that you can see in this movie that Star Wars has done, whilst it's not the whole story. It's got Misa Uhura, who plays the princess, sort of like Princess Leia's character, and Shiro Mifune as her general. The story really, they've just lost this great battle. They're in decline. They've had this massive supply of gold which they're trying to get out of the enemy's territory, and they're being hunted down, and they're helped by these two like they're bumbling sneaky idiots, and they're just trying to obviously claim the gold for themselves but at the same time help the princess and her general. Shiro Mifune gives another great performance in this, and there's a really cool duel scene in this with spears, which is fantastic to watch. The film is more, I felt this was more of a caper movie. They're on the run and the rival faction are after them, and it's just brilliantly told, absolutely fantastic. I just love the artwork of this as well. There's been always one Criterion that I've just always thought was gorgeous. I don't know if you could see that, just that pencil drawing is fantastic. It's a 2-disc edition as well with DVD and the Blu-ray. I got this pretty cheap off eBay, which is quite convenient. Yeah, it's Region A locked as well, so all these titles that I'm showing today are Region A locked, so they're more for Region 3 Blu-ray collectors. Really great edition here, and I can't recommend this movie enough. Again, they have also got UK editions. Whilst I'm just a collector of Criterions, Throne of Blood is on the Samurai collection of Kurosawa's work, along with Hidden Fortress, and Kagemusha has a Studio Canal release, which is also quite good. I have that edition, so I've got all the editions of these. I'm just when it comes to Kurosawa, I just want to have as much of the extra features as possible. I like watching documentaries, and these are just jam packed with documentaries in these, so it's just great to have for me. Lastly is something that is not really an Asian movie. It's a work between an Italian director with British cast and British production crew. It's Bernard Bertolucci's The Last Empress. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's the story of Puyi, who was the last emperor of China. It's done in a non-linear way. It starts off with him coming back to China. He's being imprisoned as a war criminal, and he's telling his story whilst being interviewed. And it starts off with when he's taken away from his family to become the new emperor, as the emperor's just passed away. and at the time he was the emperor of the whole of China, and near to the middle of his life he just becomes the emperor of the Forbidden Kingdom, which is the Forbidden City, which is sort of just like the castle area ground of where he lives. And from there it also tells the story of when they were invaded and occupied by Japan, to when Japan left after the war, and the fighting between the factions in China for ruling power. Brilliantly told, fantastic cinematography and such gorgeous visuals. Puyi is played by John Lone. I think he's Chinese English. I'm not too sure on that. Also plays a fantastic role. Peter O'Toole is in this, and he's just fantastic as RJ, who's a tutor for Puyi, and he shows him a lot, educates him, and also into British culture, which he's fascinated by, to become a gentleman. Yeah, fantastic. This is a digipack edition with the disc and a booklet here, not as chunky as the other Kurosawa stuff, but yeah, it's nice artwork nonetheless. I think this must have a UK edition as well. I just got this really cheap. I think it was like £10 or £11. I won on a bid. I just really liked this edition. It was fantastic. I know some people probably won't want to get into Bertolucci's work after the stories from in The Last Tango in Paris, when he directed that movie. It's sort of like there was a forced rape scene that the actress didn't know about, made her feel very uncomfortable, and she felt raped, and Bertolucci and Brando sort of played the role. It's a scene with butter, and I know a lot of people would not want to get into his work because of that. Same with Roman Polanski and Woody Allen, that no one want to see their work after their private life, which is a bit dark. So I can understand anyone who wouldn't want to watch it. Nonetheless, I'm a fan of the arts, so whilst I might not respect the director, I respect his work. It has no relevance on his personal life. So yeah, that is The Last Emperor. That note, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're a fan of these movies, a fan of Kurosawa, let me know what your favourite Kurosawa movie is. Comment below, like, subscribe. Please subscribe, guys. I try to update as much as possible, and always keep you updated on Asian releases and Criterions. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Add me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, and I'll see you next week, guys. Take it easy.